Thanks for joining me to take a look at all the games in my Nintendo 3DS collection today. I believe this collection that I have really showcases what a strong library of games the Nintendo 3DS has. And the first game that we are going to look at is Pokemon Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon, in my opinion. I know there's the Ultra versions, I haven't played those yet, but these games to me are some of the best Pokemon games that we've gotten in recent years, and definitely the best ones on the Nintendo 3DS. Really good games, really good gameplay. I love the Hawaiian island setting. And I also have Pokemon X here, which I have not played, but I have played this gen of Pokemon. I played Pokemon Y back in the day, and I wanted to repurchase that game to finally beat it, because I never beat it back in the day. And prices were a little expensive on Y, but I was able to get this one for much cheaper, so went ahead and got Pokemon X there. And then we have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire here. Now, I haven't fully played through this one yet. It is a solid game, but I played through the original Gen 3 quite a bit as a kid. Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Emerald back on my old school Game Boy Advance that wasn't even the SP with the backlight. Shin Megami Tensei 4. This is an absolute must-play, must-own JRPG. Definitely a peak experience on the Nintendo 3DS. I actually beat this one pretty recently, talked about it in a couple videos on the channel, even did a dedicated review on it. This is a monster collecting turn-based JRPG that has a phenomenal world, characters. The story and world is just so crazy and memorable in this game. The monster collecting element is really cool. The whole demon fusion where you get two different demons and fuse them to make a different one together. That mechanic is really cool in this game. Only bad thing about this game is that you can get easily lost in it and not find your way where to go, because the game does a bad job at telling you where to go, but everything else in this game is absolutely peak. And if you're an adult who likes Pokemon games, I highly recommend playing the Shin Megami Tensei games as well, at least giving them a try. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. This is the sequel to Shin Megami Tensei 4, and it takes place kind of like toward the end of the neutral route. I haven't beat this one yet. I'm actually playing through this one right now. I'm only like 15 hours in it, I think, but the gameplay is even better than Shin Megami Tensei 4. It still has a phenomenal soundtrack. It's just a really good game. I haven't fully seen the story through, so I can't really speak on that, but I know a lot of people complain that the story in this one is not that good, but that the gameplay is peak. What do we have here next? We have Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked. I think that's right. Yep. And this is a kind of remaster, newer version, enhanced, better version than the original one that came out on the Nintendo DS. This is a strategy JRPG, which is a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series. There's a lot of spin-off games in the SMT series. I haven't played this one yet, but after really enjoying my time with Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance and the Shin Megami Tensei 4 games, I figured I just want to pick them all up on the 3DS, just like Devil Survivor 2 Overclocked. No, not Overclocked, Record Breaker here. I hear this is another great strategy spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series. I've heard that these games are basically kind of like a mix between, you know, like Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem, something like that. So I'm really looking forward to playing through those games. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. Now this is more like a dungeon crawler SMT game, I believe. And the 3DS version is kind of a remaster, remake of the DS version. People seem to like the original DS version a lot better, but I've heard that this game is pretty good too. And this is a long title. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. This is my most recent SMT pickup, which I have not played yet, but I've also heard that this is a really good dungeon crawler Shin Megami Tensei game. This is a game back from like the 90s that got a remake, kind of remaster on the Nintendo 3DS. The first time it was brought to the western part of the world for us to enjoy here, I believe. Radiant Historia one of my recent Nintendo 3DS pickups. I've heard that this is a phenomenal strategy RPG, and this is by Atlas, so I had to add this to the collection. And I didn't pay that, I'm not gonna lie, I still paid a lot for this one. I paid like 70, not the full 80 though. But this game goes for a lot these days, and I've heard it's one of the best JRPGs on the Nintendo 3DS, so I figured, hey, why not go ahead and just pick that thing up. And then I just recently picked up Yokai Watch and Yokai Watch 2. Which one is this? Fleshly Souls. There's like 3 different versions of this game, so just wanted to make sure I said the right title. Recently picked these up at GameStop. I used my $5 coupon, and with the whole pro membership benefits that I got, I ended up paying like 30 a piece for both of these, so that was not too bad at all. And then we have the Fire Emblem games: Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. Honestly, I really need to get around to playing one of these this year. Let me know, which one do you recommend that I should play first? Because after absolutely loving Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Engage, I figured I'll just go ahead and pick up all the Fire Emblem Nintendo 3DS games so that I could catch up on the series, because I really do enjoy those games. And next up we have Codename Steam, which I hear is made by the same team developers of Fire Emblem. This is a strategy RPG. I picked this up because it was like $5 and I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So I figured, hey, why not add that thing to the collection? $5, I guess I'll go ahead and holler. All right, Tales of the Abyss for the Nintendo 3DS. I hear this is a really good action RPG on the 3DS. And if you're wondering why I haven't played a lot of my 3DS games yet, it's because I had a 3DS back in the day in like 2015, ended up trading it, and then I got into collecting for the 3DS again after I already had the Nintendo Switch. So I kind of missed out on that era of the 3DS. The only 3DS games I played back in the day were like Pokemon Y, a little bit of Zelda, and Donkey Kong. But here we have Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. I've heard that this is a pretty good remaster of the first game that came out on the Game Boy Advance, but some people like those Game Boy Advance versions better, but still glad to own this game either way. And then we have Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I really enjoyed the time that I played this game, but I didn't get around to beating it, so I probably should go back and change that eventually. When you have so many games in the backlog, it's just easy to pick up something, put something down, and never end up beating it, but I'm trying to get better at that lately. Super Mario 3D Land, arguably the #1 best platformer on the Nintendo 3DS. Just a really good, solid Mario 3D platformer. I don't really know what else to say about it but that. It's just fun. Great time to just pick up and play. You're a great game to just pick up and play anytime. Then we have New Super Mario Bros. 2. I actually recently played a little bit of this one. I skipped out on it back in the day. Never really cared to even buy it. Just recently picked it up for 20, which I feel like is a lot for it still. But back then, this one never went below like 30. And honestly, it was okay. Probably kind of mid if I'm being real. And then we have Donkey Kong Returns 3D. Played a bit of this one on the 3DS, never have beaten it on here. This obviously got a port to the Nintendo Switch, and originally it came out on the Nintendo Wii, which is where I've mostly played it at. Great, phenomenal 3D platformer. You could argue that this is the best 2D platformer on the Nintendo 3DS. Kirby Planet Robobot. I feel like this is another argument for best 2D platformer game on the Nintendo 3DS. Really phenomenal game. It just basically gives you one of the best 2D Kirby experiences, but puts you in this giant mech suit where you're like invincible. You're just thrashing through everything, and you can even use the copy abilities in your mech suit. So yeah, this is just peak 2D Kirby. Another phenomenal 2D Kirby platformer is Kirby Triple Deluxe. Gotta be honest, I haven't beat this one, but I have played it, and this game is jam-packed with content, and it is a great time. The next 2D platformer here we have is Hey Pikmin, which is some kind of quirky spin-off of the Pikmin series that didn't really review too well, but I got it for cheap, and I wanted to have it anyway, because I really do like the traditional normal Pikmin games, so I figured, hey, why not just get this so I could have every Pikmin game, right? Mega Man Legacy Collection. I need to finally get around to playing a Mega Man game, and I think the 3DS might just be the way I go about doing that, since these are the only Mega Man games I own anyway. Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World. I've heard this is an absolute phenomenal 2D platformer. The art style looks absolutely gorgeous. I believe I did play a couple of levels of this one, never really got into it. This one I still haven't played. New Yoshi's Island. I've heard a lot of criticisms about it, but I guess if you just want a simple, cozy Yoshi game to play, I guess this could get the job done. And then not quite a 2D platformer, but kind of is a platformer, but it really is a Metroid game, and that's Metroid Samus Returns, and this is a remake of Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, and I've heard that this is a phenomenal game. I have played Metroid Dread, never got around to beating it. I do need to beat that and also beat this one. This kind of set up like the blueprint of the gameplay for Metroid Dread. It is a really good game. All right, into the final section of my Nintendo 3DS collection. These are just a bunch of Nintendo exclusives that are really good games of all kind of different genres. I guess you could classify this as more of like a single player party game, which is WarioWare Gold. And honestly, this is probably my #1 favorite go-to pick up and play experience on the Nintendo 3DS, because I could just pull out my 3DS anytime, just play a couple minutes of this game with the micro games. They're a lot of fun. A lot of them pay homage to like classic Nintendo franchises. You'll see a lot of other Nintendo games referenced in here. Really phenomenal game, and if you ask me, is an absolute must-own game on the Nintendo 3DS, especially if you like this style of game. And then we have Pilot Wings Resort. I believe this was a launch title for the Nintendo 3DS, and this basically just puts you on the island, is it Woohoo Island, that you were on in Wii Sports Resort, and you kind of just get to fly around and do these aerial mini games. You could be in an airplane, a jetpack, a hang glider. Pretty cool game. You kind of just get to explore the island and do some challenges, and it does definitely get pretty challenging, I have to say. Ultimate NES Remix. This kind of reminds me of like WarioWare a little bit with the micro game concept, but a little bit different. You're playing, you know, little bits, little mini games of classic Nintendo games for the NES on here. This is a really solid, good game. Exclusive to the 3DS, and it was also on the Wii U, I believe. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I mean, this is still considered one of the greatest Zelda games of all time, and this is the 3DS version, which gave like remastered graphics that look way better and everything like that. So I feel like this is probably the premier way to play these Zelda games, like The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Never played this one at all, so that's why I bought it, because I know this is from like the same era of Ocarina of Time. So I figured, hey, why not pick this one up, because I feel like the longer you wait with these 3DS games, the more expensive they're gonna get. So ended up picking up that one. The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. This is one of the 3DS games that I did play back in the day. I had it digitally back then because I got it cheap that way. But when I started getting back into 3DS, I wanted to get, you know, physical copies for all the games that I really like. This is a really good game. Still haven't beat it. I do need to go back and beat this one. This is more like an old school traditional style top-down 2D Zelda game, but it is a really good game. Next up, we have Star Fox 64 3D, which is my favorite version of this game with the remastered visuals, the 3D effect. The only knock I can put against this game is that I don't like the new voice acting, but everything else about this game is phenomenal. And I feel like playing this game on the go on the Nintendo 3DS is just such a perfect fit for this game. There's been days where I've just been out and about and just picked it up and played it here and there, and was actually able to fully play through and beat this game on the go. Phenomenal game. One of the best on the Nintendo 3DS. I absolutely love Star Fox 64. 3DS version is peak. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, still haven't played this. I know they came out with the remaster for the Nintendo Switch, but I figured I'm just gonna be cheap since I haven't beat this version. It was made, you know, with the 3DS in mind, the control scheme and everything. I figured, hey, I'll just get around to playing this one on here instead of paying $60 for the Nintendo Switch version. $60 for an old 3DS game. Super Smash Bros. 3D. I feel like if you like Super Smash Bros., you like the game on the go, you might as well have this thing on the 3DS. I do have some memories of playing this online a bit on the 3DS, and the online was really janky. It was like just as bad as playing it on playing Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Nintendo Wii. When it worked, it was cool, but most of the time you were just like moving your character in slow motion there, which was pretty lame. And then I got Steel Diver here, which I believe was a launch game for the Nintendo 3DS. The only reason I got it is because it was $5, and for the $5 I will holler and add another game to my collection. But I've actually heard that this is a solid gameplay experience and that it is a good game as well. So what do you think about my Nintendo 3DS collection? I know I definitely need to get around to playing and beating more of these 3DS games, which I have been doing recently. But if you enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a like on this video. And if you're not already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I really appreciate you watching so much. And until the next video, I will catch you all later.